lost another black man. Down he gone. Mama screaming while her black man. Down he gone. Nigga shot another black man. Down he gone. We can't let another black man down. We strong. Outside at the wrong time. Now he never coming home. I need a 40. I got a 9. I want that drink.
Yo, what's going on, friends? How are you guys doing today? So we got the day off today for Juneteenth, even though that's officially tomorrow. So I decided I wanted to get on here and just talk some crap. I mean, a lot of times I do that when I get bored. I haven't done live in a while. So if you are joining us, all 3 of you guys, all 5 of you, thank you guys for joining me, for talking with me. I usually, when I do this, I take comments. Like, I take people coming in, like, whatever you want to talk about, I talk about it. If you want to jump in here, I'll send you the link to the StreamYard app so that you can jump in there. What's up, bro? How are you? I hope you're doing well. I asked for it on Facebook. I didn't ask on Twitter, which is what I should start doing because I get a lot of interaction on Twitter. But on Facebook, I got some topics that people wanted me to talk about. And the first thing I got was from my dude, Justin Cook, who does the Struggle Mills podcast with me. He said top 5 best anime openings. That's a loaded question because there are a lot of choices. There's a lot of ways that you can go in here. One of the ones that is probably unanimous is the Attack on Titan opening. Definitely goated. Shane Battier news. Yeah, okay, so I'll come back to that. Attack on Titan, yeah, for sure. Attack on Titan. Let me get some of these out of the way, and then I'll start on the Shane Battier. Attack on Titan. I'm a really big fan of the Yu Yu Hakusho theme, which somebody else commented. My wife's favorite anime intro is Hunter x Hunter. You can hear her in the kitchen singing it. JoJo's Bizarro Universe. That one has a pretty fire one. And I don't know, it's tough. Like, it's so many good ones. Like, I personally like the My Hero Academia theme. So those would be my 5 for now. But you know, if you got your favorites, put them in there. Naruto is your favorite, and Shippuden. I bangs with both of them, bro. Naruto is definitely on the Mount Rushmore of anime, so it's one of the top 5 all time. Boruto kind of whack. Boruto is straight. I think you got to you had to slog through the beginning of it to get to the part where it actually starts to develop its own kind of character. But to get to your earlier question, the Shane Battier news. So if you haven't heard, it was reported by Barry Jackson that Shane Battier he's leaving his full-time position with the Heat. Now, it doesn't mean that Shane Battier is done with the organization. From my understanding, he'll still be helping out the Miami Heat in a consulting role. So it's not any bad blood between he and the organization or anything like that. But I do Sailor Moon intro. I do not judge you. Sailor Moon intro is fire. But yeah, with the Shane Battier thing, look, I think it's tough. I think it's, if you don't have a full understanding of it, then you want to refrain from kind of making just offhanded comments like the Heat are doing something wrong. In terms of Shane Battier, like, nobody knows definitively what went into his decision. But I mean, he's an analytics guy. I think he's useful in some fashion, but I'm not sure that his move or him leaving the organization is, too good or bad for anybody. Like, it's tough though when you look at it in this holistic view of how Miami seems to just, they have a lot of work to do before getting themselves back into a position where they can be competitive consistently. So, that's my whole thing on Shane Battier. Cool, but you know what I mean? It's whatever right now. We need to be focused more so on what's going on the court. Another question, Kemba traded OKC. He's getting bought out, right? I think Kemba has too much money left on that contract to get bought out. I think if anything, he's going to be used as an additional trade. With OKC, like, there's no way that they can use all of those picks that they have. Like, there's nothing that and I think I heard this from my guy Adam Barai. That's my dude. We were having a conversation about something similar to that this morning. I think Boston really just wanted to get Kemba out of town. They were done with him, and so it was tough. It was a tough trade, but I think Brad Stevens' first move as like president of basketball operation, he might have gotten fleeced because OKC got a lot of picks out of it. But hey, maybe he really likes Al Horford. And so there is that. So I don't know. I'm not real high on Kemba Walker. I see the decline is real for him. But yeah, you hope OKC unlocks that pick for us. Sam Presti has proven that he's going to be a tough guy to navigate when it comes to some of this stuff. You have to really know what it is that OKC wants from Miami in order to hope that they unlock those picks. Like they have our future essentially in their hands, but there are other avenues to doing that. I would love to get my dude Adam Brown here one of these days because he's much better at all these cap questions and all that kind of stuff than I am. So he understands it through and through. He's read the CBA backwards and forwards. So I use him as kind of like a reference point in terms of things that I don't really understand, and I really don't understand what Miami would have to do in order to get those picks unprotected from OKC, but it'd have to be something in line with like giving them an asset. So it's a Kemba to the Knicks when it's all said and done. That might not be a bad move. I think the Knicks could use a player at point guard, but at this point, do you think Kemba is better than Derrick Rose? Derrick Rose has been giving them a lot, so I'm not sure. I'm not real sure if I like the Kemba to the Knicks idea. I do think that he's just going to be a part of money matching for OKC. If they do look to go get a star or something like that, I think it's going to be money matching plus those picks just so that they can get somebody in the building to help that team because they're a young team, but they have some talent. Well, they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they need to start putting pieces around him. Otherwise, they can find themselves in a situation like Luka where they're having to blow up they're having to move on from the old regime in order to try and build around Luka in a way that's more conducive to him winning now. What do I think of trading for Brandon Ingram? So this was something that Chef Trilly had. He had a Spaces event last night, and we were kind of in there talking and going through some of the options. And again, my guy Adam Barai, like I'm going to keep referencing him if we're talking about trades because that is the person who I lean on most heavily to kind of get this information. But there are avenues to Miami getting Brandon Ingram, and I think Brandon Ingram is he's a wonderful fit for in terms of Miami trying to bridge the gap between the Jimmy era and the Bam era. Brandon Ingram kind of slots in right there where he's a player who can help you win now, and plus he's extremely young. He's 23 years old, and he fits in the timeline with Bam Adebayo, and he's in the mold of the type of player that Miami needs, which is a major bucket scorer. So yeah. He's they talked about this on 5 on the Floor where they were saying he's not necessarily an alpha personality. And see, Adam, bro, I was just giving you props, and then you come in here talking about it looks like a terrible production. There is no production, bro. I did this to go live for Facebook, and I found out I could go live on Twitter too, so I did. But anyways, we're talking about Brandon Ingram. But Brandon Ingram kind of fits what Miami wants to do. They were talking about how he's not an alpha personality, but if you're on a team with Jimmy Butler, you don't necessarily need an alpha personality. We just need somebody who can go out there and get buckets. And he definitely fits that profile. He fits the age profile for the timelines of both players that we have on this team. He's an upgrade over what we've already had at the position. But I don't want people to believe that just adding Brandon Ingram is enough to put Miami over the top. So somebody has spoken into existence. Yeah, bro. Adam Barai is my dude, bro. Like yeah, exactly. So that's what we're talking about. He said, Adam, he was showing you love. Yeah, thank you. Tell him, bro. I was showing Adam love. Oh, that is my beautiful wife. The girl feeling good. Yes, indeed. The boy feeling good too. And he said, nope, we still need Lowry. I think Lowry is one of those players who we're going to look at. And look, right now, the feeling is, I guess the general feeling is that if we want Lowry, then Lowry is going to be had. So Lowry's here, and that's what we can bank on for now. Like, I think there's a mutual interest between Kyle Lowry and the Miami Heat. And if he gets here, then we're going to be pleasantly surprised with the production that he's able to give us because he's still an above average defender, still really good in terms of leadership. And he's really good in terms of facilitating the offense, and he provides shooting. So he gives you multiple things that you like. So what is it? The blood clot issues. Oh, you're talking about Brandon Ingram. He's still like relatively young. that hasn't flared up for him in a couple of years. So I mean, look, if you have the opportunity to get Brandon Ingram, then you still take that shot. Thank you, Jimmy Butler 305. He said you king. I appreciate you, brother. My man Gadiel Cartagena, Royal A stream at 12:30. Today is blessed. The royalty. What's up, Alejandro? All my 5 reasons, guys. So shout out to 5 reasons. If you're not following them, the account did get shut down, but they got it back. So 5 Reasons Sports. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to all my colleagues there. They are we're now verified. So shout out to that. Hopefully some of the other people in the network begin to get verified so that we can kind of grow this thing. There is a lot in store. So make sure you check out all the shows that they have on there. And make sure you check out all the plugs. He said, would you consider Lowry an alpha? In terms of personality, absolutely. I think he's somebody who can, alongside Jimmy Butler, lead our locker room. In terms of a player, maybe not anymore, but he's not a bad option to have on your team. Like Jimmy Butler is great. Bam Adebayo is great. If you add a Lowry, then your team definitely improves. He's better than anybody that we had manning the position this year. And I think it's pretty much it's pretty solid if you could add him as a substantial upgrade to your backcourt. And I think a lot of other people can slide into their natural positions if you have him on the floor. Gas say, welcome back, brother. Haven't seen you on the stream in a minute. I appreciate it, bro. I haven't done a stream in a minute. If y'all want to jump in here, bro, let me know. I'll send you a link, and then we can jump in here for a little bit, and we can talk. Oh, the extra yard, 5 on the floor, and get all you guys shared my retweeted this. So I appreciate it. Ali, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Yes, sir. The boy feeling good. I haven't been able to get on the stream the postseason. We're looking to try and figure out some way for us to kind of like reconvene, get on here, have a good time. But I want to make sure that it's authentic to us, original, and I want to make sure that everybody gets their opportunity to come on, talk they talk. But if you're looking for other NBA shows, you can look at the Full Court Press. They're still going on. Like I said, the network still has a whole lot of shows going on, general basketball shows, still Miami Heat content getting pumped out with the pod. So make sure y'all check all of that stuff out. Lowry, Jimmy, Bam, Ingram, that's a real solid 4 contenders or pretenders. I think in the Eastern Conference they can compete with any team with that lineup. And it's going to be about the type of budget pieces that you can put around them. But I do believe that they are definitely contenders in the Eastern Conference in terms of the NBA. If you can compete in one conference, then you can compete in both. That is my definite. That's my definite opinion. So if they can make it out the East, they can do that. What would I give up? What we have to give up for Ingram? That's something like a sign and trade for Duncan Robinson. You'd have to sign and trade him to the New Orleans Pelicans. You trade Tyler Hero to OKC so that you can unprotect some of those picks and also send that over to New Orleans. But in order to unprotect those picks from OKC, I think you'd have to include Duncan and picks because I think New Orleans wants to put shooting around Zion, and Duncan Robinson's a prime target in that regard. So you'd have to sign him in order to make the salaries match kind of. You just need to make sure that you send out enough salary to match what you are bringing in. So you'd send out Duncan Robinson to New Orleans, send Tyler Hero to OKC to unprotect some of those picks, and then send those also over to New Orleans as well. We talked about a lot of this, but like I said, I would much rather somebody said 22 people watching this. Look, Adam, bro, you come in here on 2 different accounts, so you 2 of them. So it's only really 21 people. But it's that who am I rooting for out the East? The Miami Heat. I don't root for teams outside of the Miami Heat. If it's not the Heat, then I'm not rooting for anybody, bro. That's not how I do it. Somebody said Clutch Corner. We don't have anything scheduled for now. We did want to take a break after the season, so we don't have anything scheduled for now. But I do believe that we're going to have something for y'all sooner rather than later. So once we kind of get our initial rest, you still got Feel the Heat with Michael and Alana, so they give you kind of a Clutch Corner vibe over there. But for all 4 of us to be back together, we kind of taking our break right now, just like everybody else from the network. So we'll be back eventually. Bam shooting threes, though. If you were part of the Twitter Spaces with Chef Trilla and Adam Barai, that's one of the things. That was the Adam bomb that I talked about on Twitter, where Barai said that he has like this was sourced information that Bam could potentially be taking more threes next season. I don't want to. We have a big problem with people aggregating stuff, so I want to make sure I don't aggregate what he said. So I'll leave it at that. If Bam is taking more threes, that can only be good things for Miami. That means he's expanding his range and all that kind of stuff. So shout out to my freshman sister Janae. Thank you for the glasses. Ingram is a player we should definitely go after. He scores the ball at a high level for sure. He's definitely one of the better young scorers in the league. So I think if Miami can get in on him, then you do get in on him, and you try and make sure that you put everything forth that you can to try and bring that man into the building. Look, Adam, you're a hater, bro. Danny, shout out to my man. This is my man from the UK, heating up the UK. My man Danny Ronaldo. He said, "Good to see you back, my guy. We got a lot of interesting sign and trade stuff to discuss." Absolutely. Actually, I think I'm going on Dan's podcast on either Monday or Tuesday. I think it's going to be Tuesday, though. I'm going on Dan's podcast, so make sure you check that out. I'll plug it here. I'll plug it on Twitter as well. New Orleans can have Duncan in the Long Shot podcast. Straight up, bro. They can take both of them if we get Brandon. Yo, what's going on, freshman, bro? Ali, if we trade Tyler and Duncan, does that mean we re-sign Cade Nunn? I think Kendrick Nunn's being back with Miami is going to be heavily dependent on Kendrick Nunn coming back to Miami is going to be heavily dependent on what prices he sees outside of the organization. I think this is me personally. This is just my opinion. This hasn't been sourced or I haven't heard this from anybody else. But I think Miami has a hard number set in their head for what they're going to offer Kendrick. If somebody gives him $1 more than that, then he's out the door. If they don't, then whatever. Like then he can come back. But you need to watch the situation with Goran Dragic too. Because if we don't have Goran, then we're going to probably want to bring Kendrick back just to kind of solidify that spot. But it has to be at the right number. Let me see. Yes, sir. He all day, every day. Absolutely, bro. I don't root for no other team, bro. I can't. It's just not in me. I watch the playoffs now for entertainment. But even then, sometimes it's tough for me to get through a full game. B.I. also is tough and has a Main Street culture fit. I think I've went on and on about Brandon Ingram. I would love to have him. There's nothing that I've seen that would make me not want to have him right now. I want somebody to jump in here with me, just being honest with you. So if you want to jump in this with me, send me a DM on Twitter and I'll send you the link and I'll let you jump in. I don't really care who it is that wants to jump in. Facebook too, bro. If y'all got Facebook, send me a Facebook message and I'll put you in. If Bam is going to shoot some threes, it makes more sense to sign Drummond from a Heat perspective. It makes no sense to sign Drummond from any perspective. I hate Andre Drummond. Duncan can go. Yes, he can. We said, what's up, Roy? What's up, bro? I don't really know who you is. You from Twitter, though. I know. So I'm sorry, y'all. I got more Twitter followers now than I ever thought I'd ever have. So if I don't recognize you from your tweets, that's fine. Uh-oh. I think, okay, so I'm finna, I just got a message from my boy, my man, the myth, the legend, Gadiel Cartagena. So I'm going to send my boy a link in here and let him go jump on there, man. Because Gad is he's one of the young bulls. They call him the Sky Force from the Heat, but I'm a big fan of Gadiel Cartagena. I told him at the end of the show that I think he could be one of the next hosts of the show. So I'm definitely still on that. Hero can go. Hero can go. He said, if we get B.I. and Lowry, do Miami put another guard or big in the starting lineup? I think this was something else that was discussed. You could potentially be looking at 3 new starters for Miami. And so if you put in B.I. Lowry on this team, I think you're asking – but see, that's the problem that they had with B.I. in that's the problem that they had with Brandon Ingram in New Orleans is that he wouldn't guard up or couldn't guard up or something like that. So I don't know if you bring in B.I., if you're asking him to play the 4, but you know how Spo is. Spo is used to these smaller wings that he has playing the 4. So Brandon Ingram kind of fits that mold, and I think that we'd be able to hide him on defense so that he wouldn't be tasked with the brunt of guarding big man. But just to answer your question directly, I think if we bring Brandon Ingram and Lowry in, then we're looking for another guard to put in that lineup. My boy, what is going on, Gadiel Cartagena?
Not much. I'm supposed to be working right now, but here we are. So,
man, listen, I
never turn down an opportunity to talk about the Heat.
Yes, indeed. So, Gad, man, tell me what you've been thinking. Like, a lot of people been asking me about this Brandon Ingram situation. I know you were in the Spaces convo last night. What are your thoughts on the whole Brandon Ingram thing?
I'm in because what I've been big on is you want to get someone that if you're going to trade for them, listen, I love getting Kyle Lowry, but he's not going to be someone that, let's say, if things go south, you can't trade him in order to upgrade for a better player. If things go south, it doesn't work out and the Heat need to make moves and kind of blow things up a little bit, Brandon Ingram is someone who can get better as an asset as soon as he comes to Miami. Like, the Heat can make him a better player, and then you're looking at someone that can be used to trade for a big fish. Like, I'm all in. And the basketball fit, like I think Brady Hawk did an article on it. Like, the fit makes sense from a basketball perspective. He's a bucket getter, and there's flaws in his game, but they're kind of masked by what Jimmy and Bam do. sprinkle a little culture on him.
The next
I'm with
Gabe
it.
Vincent. So my first one says to Janae, asking, are we only discussing points? Janae, you know when I do these, that's never the plan. Like I like to be more versatile in these discussions. But once I started bringing Twitter into the conversation, that's kind of what I talk about on Twitter. I talk about sports. I talk about the Heat. So after I get through this conversation, if there's still anybody left, if you want to jump in here, we can talk about some of the other issues, then I am all for it. I'm off today, so I'll probably be doing this for another probably 45 minutes or so. So yeah, no sense at all to sign Drummond. Why do people keep talking about Drummond, Gad? Like it's not.
It was mentioned on the 5 on the Floor pod. So I mean, once that's mentioned, it becomes gospel for Heat fans. So and Drummond doesn't want to play for the minimum. No.
And he wants to start.
He can start on the Sioux Falls Skyforce for all I care. He is not. No.
Shanghai Sharks. He said y'all need a real superstar to go with Jimmy because he is more of a Robin than a Batman. I think people, when you talk about the Batman and Robin analogy, I think people only look at it from the offensive side of the ball. Jimmy Butler could be any team's Batman. Just being honest with you, like he shows up when you need him to. Thank you, my love. My wife just brought me tacos, but my wife said, "Hey," she said, "Hey, again."
How you doing?
She can't hear you. I have my AirPod in. She's watching, so she can't hear us. But yeah, I think Jimmy Butler. I do believe that we need an alpha offensively to pair next to Jimmy and Bam. And that's why I believe that the Brandon Ingram thing is so intriguing because they say BI and Ingram would be pretty damn good.
If we can get two of them, fuck it, I'm in.
Right? Are they talking about Kevin Durant? Hey, I'm with it. How the hell is Boston and OKC making trades before the end of the season? Because both of their seasons are over.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the thing. I thought you had to wait till the finals, but I guess not.
I don't know what you have to do. So, what do you think about that trade, bro? Like, how did that sit with you?
I think it seems like a bit of a desperation move because in a vacuum, Kemba probably is still the better player. I know Al Horford is better at playing a specific role, which is what they're going for. But Brad Stevens isn't going to be coaching. So I don't know. Is Brad Stevens going to run his system through the next coach? Or is the next coach? Because Brad Stevens did great without Horford. There's been a lot of other coaches that have not done great without Horford. Specifically like Brett Brown. I mean, Billy Donovan, he did all right. He played solid, but was he worth a first-round pick? And you get Moses Brown, who he's on a good contract, but he's still a project. So I don't know. Giving up the 16th overall pick in what should be a loaded draft, I feel like it's a bit of a desperation move, and Al Horford isn't a good contract either. But hey, they got rid of Kemba, and I guess
to me, it kind of felt like Brad Stevens trying to correct the locker room issue that he made by trading Al Horford in the first place. Like I feel like that team lost a lot of leadership when Al left that team, and it kind of like they tried to turn it over to the young guys or Kyrie, and it didn't work out. And so it's just kind of like, you trying to right or wrong, trying to get the ship back on track for whoever this next coach is going to be. Gaz should be resting his Wi-Fi for next season. There's only two of us on here, bro. There's a numbers limit for how Gaz Wi-Fi works.
As soon as we hit 6, my Wi-Fi goes terrible. But for right now, we're chilling. We're chilling.
Is Depot gone? There isn't any news about him lately. Yeah, I think Depot's out of here, bro.
I think he's going to Brooklyn, if I'm being completely honest. I think that's where he's going to go. It just makes too much sense. He's the easiest job ever there, and they can probably pay him like some semblance of a mid-level. And then he doesn't have to do shit. Like he can rest when he's not healthy, and he can play when he wants to play. I mean, it's like a part-time job when you're playing for them because they're so damn good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been tough though. That series has been tough to watch though, considering that we haven't been able to see the entire team kind of like play. Like we got some great performances. Like that Kevin Durant performance was godlike. So, but then again, you see last night, and it's like, damn, this doesn't even look like the same team. James Harden can't move, and it's essentially Kevin Durant versus the world over there in Milwaukee. Who do you think get that game 7?
I don't know how healthy James Harden's going to be, because if he's healthy, I mean, that's a huge – well, that's Dwayne Wade slander on a Friday afternoon. Are we serious right now? That's
my cousin. He's an Atlanta Hawks fan, so he's been giving me shit because they're still in the playoffs.
Congrats to Atlanta. You guys are balling, but no Dwayne. That's just there's no reason for Dwayne Wade to be catching a stray right now. I think the Bucks figured something out though. Steve Nash also shit himself. They were running handoffs when the Bucks have been practicing to stop handoffs for the last year because the Heat bullied them with handoffs. So I don't know what Steve Nash was thinking, but I think the Bucks figured something out. They put Giannis at the 5, and that game was blown out of the water. So if they do that in Game 7, like what is Brooklyn supposed to do? All the Bucks need to do is hit shots. Anything can happen, but I think schematically and like talent-wise and everything, considering Kyrie won't play most likely, probably go with the Bucks, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, I'm like, and that's weird because it's going to be one of the one times where I feel like the better team is not going to win in this series because like despite what the series looked like, it hasn't been as like the basketball hasn't been as clean as I thought it would have been in this series.
Yeah.
Like it's been some ugly games going on between here, but that's kind of what's made it interesting. Kind of like the Atlanta and Philly series. Like I can't take my eyes off of it because I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know if Philly's going to finish off a game or blow a 26-point lead in under 8 minutes. So what centers do you guys think the Heat will target this offseason? Omar Yurt 7, bro.
Ooh, can I throw a name out there that I would love to see, and I think he's going to end up leaving because of how the postseason's gone? Bobby Portis. If you can get Bobby Portis in Miami, I'd be happy with that. That's someone that I think fits in terms of mentality and at least how he plays offensively alongside Bam.
He's a starter.
But he's not playing for Milwaukee in this series, and he's got to be mad about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's a starter for Miami.
Yeah, if you can get him on the MLE, I'm in.
Y'all have the day off or something, bro. He changed his name so that because he was here talking from both accounts, bro. Like he's so weird, bro. PG County connection in Brooklyn for Depot.
I guess I don't know what that means.
Neither do I, bro. Like,
but I'm with it. I think that's gonna happen.
Sure. Do Philly blow it up if the Hawks beat them tonight? I don't know if what you have to define. You have to define blowing up for me because
can we say Ben Simmons means blowing it up. Ben Simmons gone.
Sure.
I think he's got to be gone. If they're playing 4-on-5 down the stretch of games, and then he shoots 30% from free throws.
He needs his own team, Gad. Like that's my honest opinion on Ben Simmons. Like you have to build around him similarly to the way that they built around Giannis. Give him 4 shooters and give him the entire paint to himself. And I think he's a different player entirely. No, he won't be able to magically learn how to shoot free throws, but I think he's infinitely more impactful without Embiid being. But I don't really know if I can say that because Embiid is spending a lot of time at the 3-point line. But I just feel like their style.
I think he does that though because like Gallinari at the end of the stretch or down the stretch in that last game, Gallinari was playing like he was Brook Lopez on Ben Simmons. He was just sitting there. It was if Embiid took it to the paint, it was going to be 2 people in the paint at all times. So Embiid, he's comfortable settling for jump shots. He can win games doing that, but it's not a good recipe in the playoffs. So I don't know. I think Ben Simmons should be traded plus whatever it is that they need to try to go get Dame. I don't know if that's even going to be enough at this point because I think Simmons has lost value, but I think you get an offense with Simmons, maybe McCollum, a few shooters like Norman Powell, whatever. Something can work out like that in Portland. I don't think they're going to win with Simmons and Embiid in Philly. And it's not because of Embiid. Embiid is the one you build around. I don't care if he has injury concerns at times. He's 50 times the player Ben is in the playoffs. So
he's 50 times the player Ben is in general. Like
also true.
Yeah, he's Ben Simmons to me feels like the highest paid role player I've ever seen in my life. Like for the things that he gives you all the ancillary things like the rebounding and the defense and all. Yeah. All this stuff is great. It's fantastic, but you cannot have that from somebody who's supposed to be either your 1 or your 2. Like he's worse than Bam in terms of aggressiveness on the offensive end.
Absolutely.
Like, at least with Bam, you could see an avenue for him to becoming a better offensive player or a more aggressive offensive player. With Ben, it's like it's not even there. He has no inclination. He just stands in the dunker spot the entire possession after letting Shake Milton bring the ball up in the clutch. So Ben Simmons and Doc, I don't think Doc may be the problem too. Doc doesn't have
he loves his bench. I don't know why. He's obsessed with putting Tyrese Maxey in clutch moments. Like the Hawks cut the lead from 26 to like 18, and he's like, it's a good time to put Tyrese Maxey in. And then he gives up 6 points. Lou Will cooks them for a little bit, and then it's a game. And then it was just all downhill from there. Like, I'm not saying it's all on Doc because at the end of the day, you have what's supposed to be your second best player looking like your 10th best player. So or at times, because Ben Simmons also has great defense at times. So
Right. He also has games where he's completely dominant. And
yeah,
that's the
and he
thing
can
that-
be. He can. It's a mental thing for him more so than anything, because he can take just call for a switch, get Trae Young, and just attack someone at the rim. It's really not.
It's really not
overly
that complicated.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated, but they're making it infinitely more complicated. Oh, Durant, Green, and Depot grew up in Prince George County in Maryland. Thank you for that clarification. We needed that. Ben got to take 12 seconds on free throws in order to make them. That pales in comparison to how long Giannis takes to shoot a goddamn free throw. Like it is.
Simmons has to be
Bro.
right-handed. He's got to shoot with the right hand at some point, because I feel like he's shooting with the wrong hand.
Isn't he right-handed?
He shoots to the left. No,
He shoots with his left, but I think he's right-handed.
he's trying to be LeBron. He's not.
I shoot left-handed though, and I'm ambidextrous, so that doesn't count. Could Joel and Bam really play well together? Sure. I believe so.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you want to put them on the same team as Jimmy. You can't have 3 non-shooters as your 3 best players. So I think that's just like a pipe dream for Heat fans. But I do believe that Joel and Bam could work wonderfully together, especially on the defensive end. Like Bam would do all the stuff Joel doesn't want to.
That's a good comment.
Yeah. Oh, that's my boy
Batgirl.
Bear. I went to high school and yeah, he's Batgirl. What do you guys think of the idea of Colin Sexton in Miami, and do the Heat have enough to get it done? This is a point. I'm in trouble with Trev. How? So I'm gonna bring somebody else in here. Trev, bro, I'm gonna send you the invite on. I'm gonna send you the invite on. Thanks. So this is the dude who I'm gonna send this invite to. He's my co-host on my anime podcast.
Ooh, I'm not an anime
Yeah.
guy, but I'll listen.
Yeah, like it's not for everybody, bro. Trust me. I try not to make it more than what it is, bro. But what was I talking about? I done went off the
Colin
screen.
Sexton?
And send this. Oh, Colin Sexton. Gad, you talk about Colin Sexton for a little while I send this.
I'm in on getting Colin Sexton. There's very few players that are this young that can actually give you like 25 points a game. I don't know if he averaged 25, but I mean, he's got flaws. Anybody who's on the trade market is most likely going to be a flawed prospect, but I'm in with getting Sexton, especially if it only costs you Hero plus a little bit more, because same thing with Ingram. Sexton comes in the building, he can still get better, and that is another asset that could be used in order to get someone like a Bradley Beal when he's expiring and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm in on getting Colin Sexton if it's possible. I don't know what the price would be. I feel like you have to take on Kevin Love as well, but I don't know. If you can get Sexton without getting Love,
Oh no, I'm talking Sexton. Oh no, I wasn't talking about that. I take Kevin Love.
It just depends what you're really like. I'm not giving up a haul to take on Kevin Love and then get Colin Sexton in return. I'll give up a decent amount, but
I mean, realistically, what would we have to do? Just Goran and Iggy pick up their options, send them over there to kind of make money match, and then send them Tyler.
Hero, yeah. I mean, I guess I would be with that 100% of the time. I mean,
Yeah, if we could get that done, like I'm not sure. That's why I've been saying it the whole time. Like I lean on Adam Barai when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like you tell me what we can do, and I'll pick the best of the options that you gave me. This is my dude here. He says, "Oh hell no," because they'll talk about pod tonight, and we haven't. Build the Heat around defense. Fuck it, bro. That's the way we're supposed to be built anyway.
I think we need a bucket. We need.
Yeah, I think that's probably my. This is them going off on me in the comments. PG-13 for Duncan and Tyler and etc.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I was about to say I think Paul George kind of like cemented himself after his performance in the playoffs. I think he kind of cemented himself in the Clippers. I don't know. I think they
supermaxed him. He's not going anywhere unless Kawhi leaves and they really need to blow it up. But does Kawhi look like he wants to leave?
I don't know. Like I don't really know what Kawhi looks like. Most of the time, his face is always the same. Like he's very monotone. She said, "I'm good on PG." Look, I like Paul George as a basketball player, and I think he would. Hold on, bro. Bro, why are you looking at me like that, bro?
I got to act belligerent on here. But hold up, it's your boy Cardiac Cat. About to bust through this whole thing.
What, bro? What, bro?
I'm not that. You got me fucked up today,
Bro, what did I do, dog? Like I didn't do anything. I have been ready to pod for months, bro. Don't sorry, Gad, you have to listen to this levels quarrel right now. This is what happens with. But so I'll make the introductions. Trev, this is Gad. Gad's with me on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. He's one of the Skyforce.
How you doing,
one of the
Trev?
most intelligent people on there. Trev is the co-host of the Struggle Mills podcast, where we talk about anime and cartoons and shit like that, and pretty much any random thing that comes to our mind. He's also turned my wife against me. But yeah. So now that you're in here, Gad, I'm sorry, I'm finna pivot this conversation back to some of the other topics now. If you want to go do your work, you can. If you want to sit here, you can, bro. Just let me know it's on you.
We'll see. If I leave momentarily, it was definitely my Wi-Fi and not me not wanting to be in this conversation. We'll blame it on that. We'll blame it on that.
Either way, if you do leave, Gad, I appreciate you for jumping on here with me anyway, bro. It was a whole lot of fun to get back on the stream with you. And I'm pretty sure we're going to do something else before the beginning of next season. As soon as I decide to get off of my lazy ass. Trev, somebody was asking me what was the top 5 anime intros of all time, bro. Justin asked. He was asking under my status. And so
he asked the top 5 animes. Oh, okay.
Top 5 anime intros.
Okay, first of all, one thing I always tell people, we sleep on Rock the Dragon on Dragon Ball Z growing up as a kid. I'm just gonna start off by saying that people be having me messed up like that. That wasn't hard. You just dun 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 dun. Dun. But when you hear that,
Dragon. Watch the Dragon Ball Z.
Bro, 5 p.m. in extended day was where it was at on Rock the Dragon. But I'll never forget that. So therefore, that is one of the greatest.
So I got I had JoJo's in there.
Gold one is my shit, but it's season 3 I think is a Josuke. Whichever Josuke won that, and Golden is my shit. I give it that.
I put Yu Yu Hakusho in there because I like Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, thank you for waking me up. You don't think wrong with that?
Yeah, I put My Hero in there.
Which one though? See, that's the thing. My Hero has a few.
Yeah, My Hero change. My Hero changes every season. So, definitely for sure, bro.
Pokemon. Oh yeah.
For sure.
Give yourself a pat on the back for that. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure, bro.
Look. You want to be the very best?
Yes, bro. That no one ever was. And and then I also put Hunter x Hunter in there because that's Uni's favorite one of all time.
I'm not mad at that one. I thought it would change, but it actually did. It just kept going. It just keep going and going. So I was like, when
you got a slap, bro, why would you change it?
Agreed. That's how we felt with Big Rich Town. Was watching Power. I'm a Trey Songz my boy and all, but
I didn't watch Power, bro. I didn't watch Power, but I knew. No, I've seen like 30 minutes of the first episode of Power.
You need to watch Power. That show was really good. I'm not gonna deny it. But no, just as far as anime, now I can say good anime intros. I could say, let me see. Let's throw one more in there. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan
was good. The first one in the Monster, the very final season one was dope.
Yeah,
that one. I can say Naruto Shippuden had better intros, instead of the first Naruto.
Instead of the original. Somebody said Trey Songz version got him bullied.
Yeah, bro, they bullied Trey Songz off of it. Like it only lasts 1 week. Yeah, he said Sailor Moon.
Fighting evil by moonlight. Does Boondocks? No, Boondocks not an anime, but they definitely got a fire song. Like that intro is fire, bro.
Of course. Now what we do sleep on? No, I'm gonna give a sleeper, right? Let me give you this. If you ever seen Digimon Digital Monsters? Season 1 through 3, hard.
What's up, homie?
Hard.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh, bro. Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon Garland Champion. Hey, Digivolve. into ultimate. Hey, that's a slap,
hey,
bro.
Yeah. See,
That's a slap.
they don't know, man.
They don't know nothing about that, bro. They don't know
They
nothing. Anime inspired though. It was most of the even the drawings on Boondocks look kind of like anime, like they were anime inspired. Like that's the way that visually it was just a different series. So now that I done kind of pivoted off of the Heat. Like I want to talk about some of the other things that people suggested. Somebody said Juneteenth and reparations.
Yes. So I'm not gonna lie. I love the company that I work for. And
me too.
Right. I'm just gonna say the CEOs, I appreciate them acknowledging it. Effective immediately, they are giving us they're giving us a floating holiday. It's a federal holiday now, but they're giving us a floating holiday of Juneteenth. And I respect that so much. And I can't wait to just moving forward, what avenues is gonna create for more of us African Americans, like parties. Like I hope it's just more of us coming together. Hopefully be less fights around this time, just to see just to acknowledge when the slaves realized they was free. So no, definitely
So I'm a big fan of Juneteenth being recognized as a national holiday. It's finally starting to get a little bit more recognition in terms of like it's just something that's specific to the African American community that's not Black History Month. So I'm a big fan of them recognizing that. Like in terms of reparations, look, I think people need to give up on that dream. It doesn't look like we're ever going to see reparations. No, like I'm sorry to say this, but white people just not really that sorry. They really don't care that much.
And the thing is, and it's sad. I talked to V about this too. She soul sister, so she knows she gonna always. Yeah, she always gonna tell me how she feel about it. She's like, it's not enough though. I said it's a start though. Let's always say that it's a start. It's a start.
Yeah, but how many times have we had a start? It's not about the start. We're gonna always get a start. We just ain't gonna never get no finish or no conclusion. My freshman brother, Big John. What's happening, Brody? How you doing today, boss?
What's good, y'all boys? Y'all all right?
You feeling blessed?
Yeah,
yes,
we
indeed.
good.
You feeling blessed?
You over there chilling?
Yeah. Yes, it did.
Kiddo. I see
yes, it did. Young King, LJ, what's happening, brother? You're not with it.
He ain't with it today.
He said he just woke up from it now. So tell me what you thinking about this Juneteenth conversation, bro.
I think it's a Band-Aid. I think with all of the other issues that we got going on, they threw us a bone and expect us. Bless you, brother. They expect us to bless you again, my brother.
Yes, indeed. Keep the blessings flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I really think that they just trying to get us off their back for a little bit. They threw us a bone to kind of cover up whatever the issues is that we really want fixed, as far as the crime bill, as far as
well, that's what they were saying about with the Asian community. They they passed the bill literally the next day.
Right.
So
right.
it's not the same, right? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like defunding the police. And I mean, I don't know if I want to necessarily say defund the police. In my standpoint, I think it just needs to be demilitarized. We don't need people out here with AK-47s and AR-15s and all these different assault rifles. And I mean, that go for everybody. I think the only reason for an assault rifle is to kill multiple people. And with the fact that you got so many people that have mental issues that have not been checked out, and they get a AR-15 and they can go snipe off about 50 people in an amount of 15 minutes, that shouldn't be. So I mean, I'm a gun carrier myself, so I don't have a problem with guns. It's just, like I said, I don't think that a assault rifle is necessarily needed on either side, on the blue side or a civilian side.
Well, I think the defund the police conversation got taken out of context, because I think when certain people heard it, they thought, take all funds out of the police, and I don't think it was. I think it's more reform that people were talking about, but we've had police reform before, and it essentially doesn't do anything. It's like you mentioned earlier. It's just another small step forward that's not really fixing the problem, but putting a band-aid on what the real issues are.
Right.
There needs to be a systematic change in the way police are trained, the way that they like the psych evaluations that they have to go through, just a better understanding of the type of person that you're hiring to protect and serve your community.
Here's the thing, dude. It doesn't start with the police. It really starts with just society, bro. Like the media has trained everybody, not just white people, but everybody, to look at black people in a more aggressive manner. I know for me personally, and I mean it is just strictly due to just how TV has taught you. And I had to unlearn a lot of stuff, but certain neighborhoods, I remember as a kid, even though like it's the same people who I went to school with or the same people who my family lived in the neighborhood with, I would go to certain neighborhoods and trip out. Or if I go to a certain neighborhood, I will treat some people a different way than another. I treat some people different than I would other people. So for instance, like if it's somebody who probably grew up in a tough neighborhood, I probably wouldn't let my guard down as easy as if I was with somebody who grew up in the suburbs, and that's black or white.
Yeah.
And that's literally how we were raised. It's not just the police, it's how we've been conditioned, and we just have to unlearn that. And I've been trying to do that as much as possible.
That's a tall task to ask for, like an entire civilization of
It
people
is.
to unlearn what we've been taught.
For as long as it took for us to learn it, it's going to be as long as it's going to take for society to unlearn it. Because we've been taught to hate ourselves for so long, bro. Like, shoot, in Christianity, bro, we've been taught to worship a picture of this white guy who ain't got nothing to do with who Jesus really is. And
I think this is a pretty astute comment by my guy Jimmy Butler 305 from Twitter. He said black people and pit bulls are in the same category in relation to the way most people look at them, because pit bulls, they are a product of their environment. If you bring up a pit bull with love and that type of family, they're just like any other dog.
Yeah, they're the sweetest dog.
They're probably even better. They're probably more loyal.
They're the sweetest dog, but boy, I ain't trying to get bit in the ass though. Just saying. Royal, but we go rendezvous. Just know we talking. Hey, stay tuned. Hey, Jerm, good word, my brother. I ain't gonna lie, that was a good one.
Appreciate you for jumping in, Brody.
But yeah, bro, that's actually a great analogy, bro. That is like that's exactly how people treat black people. And like I said, it's more than just with white people treating us like that. Shoot. Some black people treat other black people the same way. Sometimes with black cops, I've come up on black cops that have treated black people worse than some white cops that treat black people a certain way. So it's just like, I don't know. For some reason, we've been just taught to have that type of relationship with the other race, or whatever the case may be.
Now, customarily when we get in here talking together, it inevitably goes into black fatherhood, because that's something that that's a shared experience that we have amongst several others. But that's one of our new favorite topics to talk about, because it's something that we're both going through kind of at the same time. And it's something that, we can identify in certain areas. So how do you go about teaching LJ, kind of like knowing everything that knowing that you have to unlearn certain things about the way that he looks at people? How do you go about teaching LJ not to look through the same eyes that you had, but to also still be conscious of his surrounding? Or how do you plan on doing that? Because I know right now he's a little bit too young to kind of understand it.
I look at it like this. So for instance, I have a little cousin that we call my nephew. Me and his mom are like super close. And he would like trip out on when he would go to a summer camp that had like hood kids. But when he went around like the kids who were like, okay, for instance, my cousin has put him in private school all his life. So he don't know how to deal with different demographics of black people. And whenever he gets an idea of black people, it's from either family or it's from TV. And the hood side of the family, I'm not even sure if he really like hung out with our hood side like that. So he never really like got that where he was just like comfortable around just anybody. He would get around like the hood kids and just be tripping out. And then he would get around either suburban black kids or white kids, and he'd be his most calm. And I know with me, I said as a little kid I was like that, but it was just because I didn't realize I was around these type of people who the news would try to paint as terrible, and I'd be around them every day like it wasn't nothing. I'd go to summer camp with their kids or be down in downtown area, Palm Beach or West Palm Beach with my family that live in that area, and it's just like
it's normal.
Yeah, I had to learn like, okay, these are my people. It don't matter how they was brought up. It don't matter what their socioeconomic status is.
I think that's kind of like where I'm headed with it, where I want to normalize all people to my children.
Right.
So
right.
it's like I do have friends who are on the same side of the aisle, who are articulate, buttoned up and all that. But I also have associates who will pull that thing up out like immediately and ask something out. And those are like my family members. You know the group that I'm talking about. Those guys. But I think if you normalize like the children being in both settings and understanding that these are people just like these are people, and these people have the same kind of like goals and ambitions. Most people boil down to very simple things. You want to protect your family. You kind of want to advance in life. You want to live a good life. And I think that's true for all people across the board. And if you can look through those eyes, then you can see the good in everybody, bro.
Right.
And I think that's what we need to teach our children how to do, as opposed to looking for something to be afraid of. That's right, LJ. We had a good time, bro. You smiled when we went out to lunch the other day, bro. Yeah. Oh, you're not smiling? You're not smiling no more? Get your roll on, LJ.
He waiting.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, trust me, I understand, bro. I got two that are not the friendliest of children when you try and wake them up.
Well,
but yeah, man.
Friendliest when you wake up. You got to warm up to you.
Yeah, you got to become your friend first. There was a couple more things that people in here wanted to talk about, like who put on my Facebook status, but I don't quite understand them. Maybe you do. Somebody said the Pentagon Papers and their lasting effect on the relationship of the government and its people when it comes to communication and propaganda in times of war. I think that's something heavily involved in government in general in terms of propaganda during times of war. They spend whatever message that they need to spend in order for you to help fund their war. So they never, when you talk about the war against Hitler. Now, I do not want people to believe that I'm defending Hitler here, but we know about Hitler through the eyes of our own history, our own, well, not necessarily ours, but this country's history.
Right.
Like, we never take the perspective, or we never even took the time to get into Hitler's mind to try and figure out why he was doing what he was doing, because we only believed our own propaganda.
Well, the thing is I don't think we're ever going to get that, like, that other opinion or that other side of the story. I think it's just going to be whatever the media gives us, simply because of the fact that most, well, I ain't going to say most, a lot of Hollywood producers and people who are at the powers that be in showbiz are from a Jewish background. So when you get those people in charge of everything,
if you even insinuate that there was any type of like, if you try and say any type of there was some kind of validity in what Hitler was doing, then you're instantly canceled and shunned and all that kind of stuff. It's perspective.
So I look at it like this with what's the guy who Leopold, I can't even think of his name right now.
I don't know.
But he pretty much did the same thing in Congo that Hitler did in Europe. And he was just like on a rampage of like killing a whole bunch of Congo people. And it was just, I think it was like upwards towards 10 million. And we didn't learn anything about that in school.
Bro, listen, in school, you're not going to get a full hit. But I think here's why we'll push back a little bit. When you say we'll never know the full story, I think that's not the case because with the internet now, we have access to pretty much all of human knowledge.
Yeah, we do. We do. But like I said, Hitler has been painted out as such a bad person. And like you said, I'm not going to sit here and justify him killing all those people.
No,
but
I'm not going to.
At the same time, Hitler has been painted out as such a bad person in our society that, shoot, even black people sympathize more with the Jewish people than we do our own people when it comes to that subject, because we've been taught more about the
Anne Frank
and the Holocaust. Like, bro, I remember
concentration camps.
Huh?
I know infinitely more about the Holocaust than I do about Black Wall Street.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was fortunate enough to be raised in a household where my parents felt it very necessary for us to understand who we were as a people, where we've come from, the ills that we've had to deal with, and things of that nature. So when it came down to like a lot of stuff that's being like brought out on the internet now, I look at that stuff and it's like, oh, my dad showed me that when I was a kid. Like, so for instance, Black Wall Street has just like finally started getting like that mainstream, that
national attention
exposure. Whereas I knew about Black Wall Street as a teenager, like as a kid, and that's the only incident in the United States where they drop bombs from planes on American soil. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Most people don't know that. Most people have just heard about, like, for instance, my sister, her grandmother was a little kid. What up, bro?
Nando the man. Well, he don't retire that name, huh?
But my sister's grandmother was a little kid during Rosewood. Didn't know about Rosewood until like maybe a few years after, well, when the movie finally came out. So it's like it's crazy because Rosewood happened in Florida. Shoot, you know how far Rosewood is from where we live? Maybe like 2 hours, bro.
Sheesh. But see, I think the difference between our upbringings was like I think the way that you were taught is one way to teach Black pride in terms of learning your history and stuff like that. I think I didn't learn history. My mom was an English teacher. And so the way that we were taught about our own Black pride was to have enough pride in yourself to educate yourself in terms of don't be what, you're growing up around. If you're going to speak, know what you're talking about.
Right.
Learn how to articulate yourself in a manner where you can be universally understood.
Right.
And in some ways, in a lot of ways, actually, that has helped me in life in terms of like how I conduct myself and doing stuff like this. Like it helped me in that regard. But in terms of history, knowing my history, having the sense or the wherewithal enough to know this has happened before, this is what's happening again, this is how we should navigate it differently. I have a blind spot to that. Because admittedly, I do not know enough about history. I'm not a history buff. I don't do nearly enough research to even classify myself as someone who's well versed in history. What's up?
You want me to tell you who else got me on game?
Who was that?
That boy Storm.
He has always been somebody who I looked at as somebody who I admired for just his ability to recall events in history that have so much significance to our culture, bro. Like that's something I just don't have it. I just don't have it.
We were freshmen in college. Like we 18
I remember.
years old, and this cat just like spitting out, oh, that's such and such. And this and this and that, and like he got me hooked on blaxploitation.
That was
He
part
got
of his
me-
like skit. That was part of his skit. Frederick
Yeah.
Douglass.
but
Like
I'm
he just come on, man.
like the best thing about it is just the fact that he always had his stuff together with that, bro. Like, shoot, that's probably one of the main reasons why he's into his political game right now. Like he
Yeah.
on top of his stuff right now with that.
With his podcast.
Podcast with his rallies, with all of the stuff that he's just into. And I don't even know if he's gonna like see this, but that's just how I
He
feel about
might
it.
not.
Huh?
Probably not. He probably won't see it. Like he's joined a few of these sometimes, like to watch every now and again, but he probably won't see it. But that I don't think I've ever fully expressed to Storm. Like I would like to get him on here one time just so he can come on here and make me look dumb. But I don't think I've ever fully expressed to Storm how, like, even at the age of 18, 19 years old when he was doing that, even if they were doing it to, I don't know if people were doing it to make fun or to learn, but I learned, like, I admired what he was able to do, like, at the drop of a dime, bro.
Oh yeah,
From the very first time I heard him do it.
Then they used to make him like give a Black History fact.
Yes, that was his skit. It was like Frederick Douglass. Tell us something about Black History Day, and just out of nowhere, he just recalled an event that I had never heard about, and I always admired his ability to do that, bro. And it's like I don't think I've ever expressed that to him, so I'm gonna make sure that I do that because I need to tell him how much I admire that.
But it wasn't even that. Like, bro, you got to remember, me, him, and Sam. Him and Sam were neighbors in Paddyfoot. So me, him, and Sam used to always be hanging with each other.
That's enough.
And I used to like always be in his room on his computer, and we would just be like, bro, we would literally just talk until about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It was days I'd miss class because I'd be so tired from being in his room. Where we would just all just be having a discussion about stuff that either he would be telling us or I would be telling them, or we'd be talking about music or just something, bro.
That was a great time, bro.
It was. What a time to be alive.
Man, shit.
That was I can honestly say that's a part of my life that I hold dear to me.
Are you drinking formula, bro?
I'm tasting it, bro.
Bro, that's nasty.
No, I'm trying to see if it's hot.
Yeah, bro, squirt it on your skin like any regular person does, bro. You don't have to drink it, bro.
My skin too thick, bro.
But yeah, that's something too. Like I was telling Uni when we was on our way back from Key West, like I don't do a very good job of keeping up with people who are not in my vicinity.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like people like Jaquita. There's still an unbreakable bond right there, bro. Like
Right.
it's never gone anywhere, and
Right.
it never will. But I don't do a good enough job of reaching out to her just to check on her. I don't do a good enough job of going to visit, even though she only 2 hours or some change away. Like
Right.
Pat, Caesar, Ashley, I don't check on them nearly enough. And that's like something that I really want to get better at as a person, like as part of my individual growth. Like, I mean, we're mid-30s now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm still early 30s, bro. I don't know about you. I ain't mid-30s to the end of the year.
You're older than me.
I'm not mid-30s until the end
You're
of the
older.
year.
You're older than me by a month and 3 days, bro.
But I am not mid-30s until I turn 34.
You got a wife and a child. You mid-30s now,
No,
boy.
sir.
A wife, child, and a mortgage, bro. You mid-30s now.
I am still in my early 30s, and I'd like for you to respect that. Thank you very much.
You identify as an early 30s-er.
That's what it is. From
Hey,
30
man.
to 33, early. From 34 to 36, mid. And from 37 until 39, it's late. Come on now.
I can respect that logic. But, I mean, that body feel mid-30 some days. Not even going to lie to you.
Well, it all depends. If I'm fasting or something, I feel great. But if I'm like eating junk food, like for instance, what we was eating at Miller's,
Yeah.
that's
That's
when
not
it
feeling great.
becomes Right. Tell him, bro. He talking about we in our mid-30s. Nah, bro, don't do me
Hey,
like that.
both of y'all older than me, so if y'all early 30s, then I'm early 32, I guess.
I don't even know where you got this mid-30s thing from.
Bro, because I'm 33 years old, bro. Like
Because
it's the
that's
middle.
not the mid-30s.
It's in the middle of the 30s, though. I mean, I haven't felt drastically different about my age since I turned like 28. I haven't felt anything like dramatically different.
You was married at 28, wasn't it?
Nah, I got married 29. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I might have, yeah, but 29.
That's
Right.
why, bro.
What?
I got married at what? 30.
31.
So, like, even at 31, I was just like, bro, this don't feel old. I remember being 18 and being like, man, 30 is old.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I mean,
I
my
got
mind
to
still
30.
work.
Huh?
My mind still work the same.
No, not like old, like as in like an old person where you gotta have a walker, but like I'm thinking like 30. Like for instance, when I was a little kid, my parents was in their late 30s, and they just seem way more established than how we do in our 30s, and it's just like crazy to me because it's like, dang, I'm 33. And when my parents was 33, they did this and they did that. But then I think about it like, wait, they had a house, we got a house. They driving, they had multiple cars, we got multiple cars. I mean, the only thing that they didn't really have at the time was the business. And that's what we doing now. So
See, my timeline with my mom was different. My mom, when she was raising me and my brother, she was in her 20s, like early 20s. By y'all, so I got here when she was 21. My brother was born, she was 22. Like, so it was like her entire 20s we spent watching my mom kind of like transition into being a real adult, I guess. I don't know.
But okay, so even then, like, okay, for instance, my sister and my brother was there when my parents was in their early 20s. So I don't know that side of them. My brother and sister do. Like, they know about when they lived in the projects, and when they lived like they had to go stay with at my grandmother's house at one point, and they had to go do certain, like, it's crazy. But I didn't catch that part of it. I caught when they was like grown.
Yeah. So that's gonna be the difference between my daughter and Lex. I had my daughter, I was 18.
Yeah, you was around here putting your thing in everything.
Hey man, it'd be like that.
Me myself, I was Team Virgin.
Fam, that ship sailed a long time ago. He said I was too much of a thought to be married in my 20s. I think by the time, 29, I always said I wanted to be married by 30. I didn't think it was gonna happen for most of my 20s. And then, I lucked up. And so
hey, to be honest with you, I said to myself, I was like, I'm a wild out in my 20s, and then I was like, at 30, I'm gonna get married, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn my life around and live for God.
And is that how it happened?
Boy, was that wrong. God blew that plan up big time.
I think that's one of the things that you learn as you get older too. Like, I think we're in a good stage though. Like you said, early 30s. You're at the point now where you're too old to do young shit, but you're still too young to do old shit.
Nah, I've been doing old stuff for a minute, bro.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, starting a business isn't an old man's game.
Oh no, of course not.
That's what I'm saying. Especially not the one that you're trying to do. Or that you're doing. I don't want to say trying, you're doing it. But the business that you run, bro, that's not a young man's game. That's not an old man's game. It's also not a young man's game.
No, you gotta be seasoned, bro.
You have to be disciplined.
Just like the meat that you putting on that grill, you gotta be seasoned, bro. Because with all of the knowledge that I thought that I had with this game in my 20s, had I tried to jump into this business in my 20s, man, it would have fell apart right away.
Yeah.
simply because of the fact that I don't know. I think just like the Bible says, with everything, it's a season, and if this was just my season to go ahead and do what I needed to do with the business, and bro, it's working out, and it's continuing to work. But like I said, like I've seen people who are older than me who have started the business, who have started the same business, and they doing that thing too. I've also seen people who were younger than me, who were doing what they were supposed to do. Matter of fact, it's this guy who he may be like 6 years younger than me, and he do it like he pretty much built his from the ground up. He down in Palm Beach, and he is killing the game down there. And it's like I said, it's all about the seasoning of it, bro. Like you can't even necessarily just be like, oh well, you gotta start it at 30. Like it's somebody who could probably start that job at 20.
One of the things that you learn, the older that you get, is that you don't have to you can't judge yourself based off of anybody else's timeline. Like I can't compare my timeline to anybody else's timeline, because it's like some people just have an aptitude for things earlier and some people just develop the experience later on. But I'm sorry I cut you off. Go ahead and finish your point.
But no, I was just saying, like, pretty much the same thing what you just said. Like it's more than just hold on, bro, because you about to start trying to touch stuff.
Oh yeah, this is about to be over.
I'll let you get on camera, but you can't touch it.
What's up, Brody?
I got a whole phone in there you can have. He can't hear you. I got the headphones.
Yeah, I see.
But yeah, dude, it's just like you say, you can't judge yourself off of anybody else's timeline. Because I used to be discouraged because, for a while I was celibate, bro. Like I was celibate, like it'd be chicks like trying to throw it at me, and I was just kind of like, nah, you good. Just because I was really like trying to live for God, and
I cannot relate.
Like, well, I want to be married because no, what that don't take away the urges and the lust and stuff that you got in your body. I mean, it was days that I had to sit there and pray just so I can get my mind through it. But shoot, I was ready to be married. I thought I was, at least. And that's what actually brought me back to Tallahassee, because the chick that I was dealing with, she was from here. I thought we was gonna get married, and then she hit me with the old bait and switch, and we ended up getting we broke up like a week before I moved. Like we had been talking about it. I was coming back and forth. I don't know if you remember, like back in like 2015.
You was teaching in Palm Beach.
I was teaching in Palm Beach, but I would always be up here.
Yeah.
Every time we had a break, I'd be up here with her. And it didn't work out how I thought it was. My wife now be talking about, oh, she was cheating on you, babe. But I don't know. I don't know. That's probably
it's not relevant. It's not relevant anymore.
Right. It's not even for me to know. No, you can't.
That's crazy. But no, bro, I don't think I could have ever did that celibacy thing. You talk about you prayed yours out. I don't think praying would have worked for me. I would have been in here touching myself if I had gone on a celibate 2 years. That's crazy though, bro. Like that's different. Oh, you said something that was interesting. You said you thought you was ready to be married and you wasn't. Did you feel ready to be married after you got married?
Yeah.
You still feel like you've been ready the whole time?
Like I said, I'm not sure. Okay, so what would be your definition of ready? Because I don't want to get it. I don't want to get it confused between the two.
That's cute. I just talk about my situation personally. So I believe that I was ready to get married because I thought I had found a woman who I want to be with, my entire life. And it was just like, once we get married, then it's gonna be small hiccups, but we're gonna smooth all them things out easy because we already know how to do it. Like it's kind of like the typical thing. We done already lived together, we done been together for so long. It's gonna be the same relationship after we get married. Which in essence it is. Like there's not really much that has changed, but there are challenges in marriages that you don't encounter as boyfriend and girlfriend. And there was just a couple of them that I didn't see coming that I thought I was prepared for that I actually was not prepared for in terms of being a husband.
Right. No, listen. Marriage is not gonna always be the sunshine, the roses, the birds, the bees,
No, sir.
The rainbows and kisses, and it ain't gonna always be that. But is it worth it? Yeah.
Mhm.
Did I want somebody? I knew it wasn't gonna be that because of my parents. They just celebrated their 40th anniversary last month.
So quick interjection.
They've been
My
together.
my mom didn't get married until I was 18 years old. So like in house, I like she didn't get married. She married
You never saw that.
my younger brother. You're right. I saw it because I had aunts and uncles who I stayed with from time to time who have been married for long periods of time. I think my auntie and my uncle just celebrated their 33rd anniversary. But I have two marriages that I kind of look at. Those are the two most stable marriages that I saw in my family. But those are my aunts and my uncles. Like in house, my mom wasn't married. So like learning marriage is different from Uni. Uni's parents been married her whole life. But like seeing marriage daily and understanding that it's not going to be what you think it is versus jumping into marriage thinking that you've already troubleshooted every problem that you're going to have before marriage, it's a different animal once you get in it.
I had a spam call calling me.
Yeah, I got somebody texting me from work. I've been doing this for about an hour and 15 minutes, so I appreciate you for joining me, bro. I appreciate Trevor. I appreciate my guy Gad, but I'm finna log up out of here because I think I got to do some texting on my day off.
All right, man. Well, wait.
Yeah,
we'll definitely just even if it's not online, we'll definitely link up. Just
we do that. We'll do that. All right, brother.
All right, man.